In the mood for a freshly roasted cup of coffee? www.offtherailscoffeeroasters.com.
Tired of that same old breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Same old tasting scrambled eggs, burger, that dinner steak, ribs, or pork chops? Why not add a little bit of spice or just a touch of heat to make the difference? Change that scrambled egg with a little bit of Johnny Fabulous's John Cena Sr.'s $1 Million Jalapeno Hot Sauce. Great on burgers, steaks, chops, and those barbecued ribs.
Fake news. Boston wrestling is fake news.
Just like a desert flower, waiting on the rain to come. And all I know is annualized confusion. And what I'm saying is you don't realize what this means. Have you seen our finest hour? Good times surely will come. Just like a desert flower, waiting on the rain to come.
Shower. Brody walked in behind Jose. As soon as Brody stepped in the shower, this is what I hear. Just like that.
Straight to the top. We're living this life, not just dreaming it, we're doing it right. Straight to the top. Working hard every day just to live out that way.
Mr. USA Tony Atlas, we have not seen him since the big event which we worked the gimmick table at the M&P table.
You know, we've had you in several times in the past, and we've actually purposely stayed away from the Bruiser Brody subject. But tonight, I wanted to know, can you give the fans any closer insight about that night that you may not have? I'm sure you've been asked this 1,000 times. Is there anything that you may want to disclose that we may not know about the stabbing of Brody?
It was so strange with me and Brody. Me and Brody have been knowing each other since the 70s. I first met him, he was working in Amarillo, Texas. He just got through playing college football and everything. And we worked together some then. We worked all over. But then I went to Von Erich territory in Texas. And I went in as the Black Superman. That's when I first started wearing the Superman suit. And George Scott was the booker. When George Scott left and left Brody as the booker, Brody said, Tony, George Scott said, "Don't worry, Brody going to take care of you." 1 week after Brody took the book, he didn't book me for no shows. He didn't book, at that time, the Dingo Warrior for no shows. With the Dingo Warrior working back and forth between Japan.
Just in case fans don't know, Dingo Warrior ended up being the Ultimate Warrior in the
it
WWE.
became the Ultimate Warrior.
Yes.
But at that time, he was the Dingo Warrior, and he was working back and forth between Japan and World Class Wrestling. And Brody left us at home. One day I got Brody called me and said, "Tony, I got your book." So I went down to Fort Worth, Texas to do the TV because I figured, because I was traveling back and forth out of Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico was the only place I could wrestle because Vince had blackballed me everywhere else. So the only place I could work during that year was World Class Wrestling and Puerto Rico. So I was going back and forth in Puerto Rico. So when I got there, Brody said, "Well, I made a mistake. You're not booked." So I got so pissed off, and you can ask some of the guys that was around during that time. I challenged Brody to a fight on the parking lot. I invited him out in the parking lot.
Nice.
And then the guy came out, Earl. His name was Eric Razor or something like that.
Eric Embry?
Embry.
Eric Embry, look
Eric
at
Embry.
you.
He was there. He was there.
Florida.
If you talk
Eric
to
Embry.
Eric Embry, you ask him about that. So I wanted to fight Brody. So I called out the parking lot. Earl Embry came out and said, "Tony, you better leave. They called the cops on you."
What?
And I said, "The cops." They said, "Tony, these cops will shoot you.
Ooh.
Get in your car. Get out of here." I got in my car. I left. I didn't see Brody anymore until he came back. He came to Puerto Rico. So he was there for the whole week. I didn't say nothing to him the whole week. Finally, we was in the gym working out. Brody walked over to me. I laid the waist down. I figured we're gonna go at it.
Oh boy.
He held his hand out to me. He said, "Tony, I'm sorry for what happened to you in Texas. I had nothing to do with that." He said the reason that they got rid of you and the reason that they will not book the Warrior is because both of y'all got better physique than Curry Von Erich. See, Curry was in an accident. He wrecked. He was in a auto accident and he lost 1 foot, so he was out of the scene for a while. So now he's coming back. Well, Curry had a great physique too.
Yeah.
So the Ultimate Warrior was lucky. He went to Vince and became the Ultimate Warrior. I went to Puerto Rico. So after me and Brody, we talked everything. He said, "But I promise you, Tony, I promise you, things will be different here." He said, "I waited a long time to get in down here." Now, I knew then he wasn't talking about wrestling because he'd been wrestling there for years.
Promoting?
He bought in. He gave them money he bought some of the territory. He bought some shit.
So whose shares did he take?
From what I hear, I'm not for sure because I'm not in the office. I hear he took Gorilla Monsoon.
Wow.
Shares because Monsoon had shares in there, so he bought. I think was Monsoon share. Now you talk to Abdullah, the butcher, lab piece of. He's going to say it didn't happen, but that's him. He got to live with that. So anyway, we shook hands and everything, and then we left. We went back to the hotel. Well, I went upstairs, showered and everything, got dressed, and I told the guy at the gym. Because he said, I never saw you wrestle. He said, I'm coming tonight to watch wrestling. I said, you want to get in free? He goes, yeah. I said, why don't you give me a ride to the arena? That way you can get in free, and then later on we go out and get some paella. Paella is like rice with seafood in it.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay.
And he said, oh, great. He said, I know a great place make the best paella. So he said, you mind if I bring my wife along? At that time was his girlfriend. I said, no, go ahead. So the guy pulled up to get me. I came out of the hotel. It was called the Tanama. And Brody and Dutch Mantel was sitting on the steps. So I said, Brody, why you staying here? I said, I'm always late. How come you late today? He said, I'm waiting for Jose to pick me up. Now, man, you out there, fat, Jose is the man that murdered him. He was waiting at the hotel for his murderer. He had no idea. They rode together all week. They rode together the whole week. So Brody had no idea. So I got in the back seat, me and Dutch Mantel sat in the back seat. The bodybuilder, the guy that owned the gym, I think they call it the Muscle Factory or something like that. The Muscle Factory. The girl slid over to the center, and Brody sat in the front seat because he's so big, he couldn't fit in the back. So me and Dutch had to get in the back seat. Mantell would tell you the same story. He was there. So we get to the building, and as y'all know, I do artwork. So Mark and Jay Youngblood had contracted me to do a picture for them. So I was putting the finishing touch on the picture. Bruiser Brody walked over to me and said, "Wow, I didn't know you drew like that." He said, that looked just like them guys. He said, "I had pictures done of my son before, but it was character draw with a big head and a small body." He said, "Can you do one of my boy for me, my son?" I said, "I can have it done for you." I said, "I'll be finished with this one in about a few minutes, and I get started on yours now." I said, "Give me the picture. I start on it now." I said, "We got another week here. Before the week is out, I have your picture done for you." He said, "What I owe you?" I said, "Nothing, brother." I said, I just like to draw. I said, "I don't charge, my friend." So Brody said, "Okay." So as he reached in his pouch to get his picture, by then Jose, I skipped the part. When me and Brody first walked in, Carlos Colon, Victor Jerica, and Jose, the murderer, they were sitting like in a football herd. When Brody came through the door, they all did this, like they saw a ghost. Jose got up, left out of the dressing room, didn't pay no attention. I went down and started doing my drawing. So Jose come back into the dressing room. He had a towel over his hand. And he came up to Brody. He said, "Brody, can I talk to you, por favor?" Por favor is Spanish for please. Mm-hmm. Very nice, very relaxed, very respectful. So Brody, very nice, turned around and go, "Okay." And Brody turned, and I was reaching to get the picture. So like said the picture was coming, I almost had the picture in my hand, and then when Jose called it, Brody turned. But he still had the picture in his hand. Mm. And Jose walked in front of Brody into the shower. Brody walked in behind Jose. As soon as Brody stepped in the shower, this is what I hear. Just like that. Mm. I looked up. When I looked up, Jose raised the knife in the air like this. I sprung from my seat, grabbed Brody around the waist. I pulled him back. When I pulled him back, the knife came back, cut off some of his ponytail. Mm. I went to grab Jose. I'm holding Brody with one arm, trying to hold him up, and try to sucker punch this bastard in the face. Carlos Colon cut me off. Grabbed Jose, pushed Jose up against the wall. They said, "No, Jose, no, Jose." So I went, the Brody looked at me and said, "Brother, I'm hurt. Don't let them."
Real quick, Tony, do you think no Jose meant that Jose was going to come try to stab you and he stopped him from stabbing you, or was just, he was like...
Was Colon full of anyway? Cause...
Let me tell you something. I was as worried about Jose stabbing me as I'm worried about getting pregnant.
Okay.
There you go.
There's too much in the dressing room you can whack. Brody would never got stabbed if he had known. Mm-hmm. He would have took that knife from Jose and shoved it up his butt if he had known. Right. Brody had a picture of his son in his one hand, had his wrestling bag in the other hand.
Oh, so you're thinking if he didn't grab that picture from you, he might have been able to defend himself.
Picture in my hand.
Yeah.
Brody is like, this is Jose.
Uh-huh.
Here's Brody. Mm-hmm. He turned into him.
Right.
He turned and hit him.
Right.
Yeah.
Brody never saw the knife.
Never. Right.
I tell you, it was in his. When Brody first laid out on his knife, it was in his stomach. Mm. He turned and hit him. I'm looking at. He turned. I thought he punched him.
Right.
Cause Brody's so wide, you can't even see Jose. Mm. But Brody would walk up behind him. If you could picture it in your man, and all of a sudden you follow somebody, they just turn and stick you. What you gonna do?
Right.
So Carlos was more afraid of me getting hold of Jose. That's what he was trying to protect Jose, not me. He cared about me.
Right.
But anyway, make a long story short. So Brody said, "I'm hurt, brother. Don't let them." He didn't say him.
Right.
He said them. Don't let them hurt me anymore. I said, "Brother, don't worry about it. Ain't nobody going to do a thing to you." So I laid him down on the floor. Carlos tried to talk to him. I told Carlos, I said, "If you come over here, I'm going to knock your head right off your freaking shoulders." I said, "If anybody come over here, I'm going to knock the head off the shoulder." So Carlos said, I want to talk to him. So Brody laying on the floor, he tugged on my pants leg like that. He said, let Carlos come. Carlos come over and asked Brody, said, anything I could do for you? Brody said, take care of my family. So then the ambulance came after about an hour and 45 minutes. Almost 2 hours he laid in the floor bleeding.
Why so long?
Because it was the beginning of the show, and
Okay.
all the fans was coming in.
Okay.
So this was at the beginning of the show. So at them days, the arena used to be packed.
Right.
So the ambulance had a long time getting there. Well, they didn't rush either because they come to the show before. They would think it's a regular. Because the people they saw was an elderly lady and an old man. And they couldn't lift Brody. So one of the guys said, could somebody help us lift him up and put him on the ambulance? So I went over and I stuck my hand under him. I squatted down so I could lift the girder up. And Brody said, don't you drop me. I said, brother, I curl more than you weigh. So he got a little smile on his face, so I put him on the ambulance. Then, as we was leaving, the guy turned again and said, anybody want to go to the hospital with him? Every wrestler in that dressing room turned their head.
Right.
They turned around.
Yeah.
I got on the ambulance. I'm on the back. And it was this Mexican guy was called Hercules somebody. I can't remember his name. He had a son, Miguel Perez. But anyway, I saw him. And I was very strong in them days. I grabbed him by the
In them
belt.
days.
Yeah, and then
I grabbed him by the belt. I drug him on the ambulance. He said, Tony, don't get me involved in this. Don't get me involved in this. I said, all I want you to do is interpret for me. I couldn't speak Spanish. I said, I just want you to tell them what I say. He said, okay. And I kept holding him. He kept trying to get off that ambulance. But once we got on the interstate, he kind of stopped trying to jump off the ambulance.
Yeah.
So we get to the hospital, and they put Brody in there, and he was laying on the table, and I'm waiting for the doctor. Nobody coming. So finally I saw a doctor walking down the hallway reading a paper. I said, are you a doctor? He read some paper or something. I said, you a doctor? He said, yes. I said, I got my friend got stabbed. The doctor walked over to the emergency room and opened up the door. In Puerto Rico, a stabbing is like a cold in America.
Oui.
The doctor ignored it. He turned to walk away. I grabbed that rascal by his waist and threw him up on my shoulder, just like this. I carry him into Brody and set him down right in front of Brody. I said, you're going to look at my friend. So Brody had his hand over the cut. The doctor lifted the cut. The doctor never saw nothing like that before. He said, oh, my God, we need to get him in operation right away. So they got Brody in operation. So I sat there for about an hour and a half while they were doing the thing. The doctor came out. He said, your friend is stable. He said he got 2 8-inch cuts. One cut his liver, one cut his intestine. We got the intestine fixed. We working on the liver now. He said, but we would recommend you go home because everybody in this hospital is scared of you. He said, you got everybody so nervous. He said, I'm afraid that you're going to cause more harm than good. Why don't you come back in your morning? I said, you sure he's okay? He said, your friend going to be okay. We got him stable. His blood pressure, everything is stable. So I left and I went back to the building. When I got back to the building, I'm walking towards the dressing room. I hear, hey, 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 ha, 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 hey, great match. The blood is still wet on the floor. Ain't even dry yet. The guys was laughing and joking about talk about their matching. I got pissed off. I wanted to beat up everybody in the dressing room. Carlos come over to me and said, Tony, go to the ring. The Sheik is waiting for you. Do your match so you can go back and see Brody later. So I went in the ring. I wrestled with the Iron Sheik. The Sheik said, brother, what happened with the Brody? And I said, Jose stabbed him. Jose Gonzalez stabbed the Brody? I go, yes. This, let's go. So all we did in that match, if you ever see that match, we locked up. He said, give me headbutt, brother. I headbutted, Sheik rolled out the ring, went back to the dressing room. We didn't even give him a match. I get back to the dressing room, a policeman is standing there. He said, he said, we just left the hospital. They told me we left, went to the hotel, we were looking for you. And he said, you the only one that have not gave a statement. You the only one that have not gave a statement. He said, what, do you know what happened? I said, yes. He said, what happened? He said, I said, y'all excuse my language. I said, that son of a bitch right there stabbed him. He said, you mean Vader? Because I said the Invader.
Invader,
I said, yeah, that's some of the right there, stabbed Brody. I was looking right there. He said, how is that possible? And I said, why? He said, everybody in the dressing room that I interviewed said that a wrestling fan did it. So they already had made the story up while I was gone of what they're going to tell the police. So I went back to my hotel room, and what's his name? Sabio Vegas. Sabio Vega?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was wrestling there as TNT. He was there with my bag. He said, don't go to your room, Tony. They're looking for you because you talking.
Oh.
If you ever talk to Sabio Vega, I always shake his hand. He saved my life. They was waiting for me up in my room. They were going to kill me. So I walked the beach the whole day. Finally, the next morning, I said, screw it. If they up there, we're going to battle. I said, I ain't going to we're going to battle if they over there. When I got there, one of the seekers said, come on, brother, we're having a meeting in Abdullah the Butcher room. Now, Abdullah on the dark side said there was no meeting. You asked Seeker, there was a meeting. You asked Dutch Mantel, there was a meeting. You asked anybody but Abdullah the Butcher, there was a meeting.
Why would he lie? What's he got to gain?
I think because he got shares in it. And he was the one that called for the meeting. And he don't want callers to know that he got the boys to boycott the week. Because it wasn't for Abdullah calling that meeting. Because Abdullah and Brody was good friends. And we boycotted the week. Nobody would wrestle for him no more that week. And it was our way of standing up to him, boycotting it. So after the meeting, the guy said, well, somebody need to go to, one of the wrestlers said, well, somebody need to go and tell the police what happened. And everybody said, well, I didn't see it. I wasn't there. Dutch Mantel said, well, I left out of the dressing room. I didn't actually see it. When I came back, it was already done. And
was Dutch telling the truth, or is he just like he didn't want any part of it?
I didn't see him leave the dressing room.
Okay.
I didn't see him leave. I didn't see him come in. He said he did, but I didn't see it.
I got you.
I can't talk to that because I was drawing. So anyway, Seeker, for people who don't know who Seeker is the father of Roman Reigns. And if you look at the picture of Seeker, they look like twins, right?
Yeah.
He looked just like his dad.
Yeah.
So Seeker said, I'll go with you, brother. So I said, oh, okay. I mean, if you got Seeker, if y'all really knew Seeker in his younger days, you didn't need nobody else.
Right.
I mean, Seeker and Alpha was pretty
Big.
Peter Maivia and
Large.
Oh my God,
Oh, yeah.
Seeker was powerful, big, strong, powerful Samoan. So he went with me. I gave my report. I asked the policeman. I said, if I come to trial, can I have protection? He said, once you get to the courthouse, we can protect you. Outside, we can't. He said, we don't have enough manpower to do that. I said, well, I got a 357 Magnum I'd like to bring along with me. He said, that's okay with me as long as you can clear with the airline. I called the airline said, as long as I check it. I can't carry it all.
Yeah, right.
I have to check it with my luggage. And you have to fill out some paper to say you got a weapon. So I said, okay. Y'all did. I gave him my address, gave him everything. I've got to the airport. I sat at the airport. And back in them days, you didn't have to make reservations. If you got cash, remember you could buy a ticket with cash.
You just go.
throw the money on the table. They
Right.
give you a ticket, get a play. And I didn't hear no more about Brody until after the trial. I saw it on TV.
Carlos Colon, murderer?
Well, he didn't do the murder.
Conspired to murder. What says Tony Atlas?
That's a good question.
Seriously.
You're on the spot, Mr.
Come on,
Atlas.
Tony.
But see, if I'm the type of person, I don't like to speculate. I only like to talk about what I could prove and what I could do. If I call that man a murderer, he take me to court, how am I going to prove it?
Understood. Now, you did say
can't-
something interesting
I
earlier, though.
can't
You
prove
said
it.
you were afraid that they were after you. And you
That-
felt
but that-
who's
I
they?
kept- I
Is it
kept hearing the
Carlos?
term-
Is it
with the
Gon-
term, I kept hearing the term both from Brody when he was down. He said, "Don't let them hurt me anymore." Them. He said them. Then when Sabio Vega came to get me, he said, "They are looking for you." In both incidents, they used the term "they," which gave me the impression that it was a conspiracy. See, what I think what happened, I'm giving my opinion on this, because I watched some of the dark side, and I hear one of the guys say that Brody said he's going to get his money back even if he got to beat the hell out of him. So, and then I hear that Carlos Colon had gambling decks. Now, there's something else that I hear at the airport. There was a guy at the airport sitting with me. he would go back and forth. He was a nurse's assistant, CNA, and he said, "Man, I'm sorry about what happened to your buddy." I said, "Yeah." I said, "The doctor." I said, "They should sue the hospital." He said, "They had the guy stable." He said, "No, it wasn't the hospital." I said, "It wasn't." He said, "No." He said, 2 seconds after you left, 2 seconds. He said some security people came and told us stop working on the wrestler. They went to the hospital and finished the job with this guy, this orderly. Is that what you call him, orderly? Yeah. He told me that. He was there.
So let me ask you: have you ever, after this is all said and done, and you're still wrestling, you ever run across Carlos Colon again?
Yeah.
And what's your feelings there? Are you just
How awkward is that? Or is it just the business? The business just made you
Well, see,
indifferent after?
I don't mean to bring race into it, but
Okay.
me being a black man, I can't do what other people do.
Okay.
I can't. Carlo is rich and powerful. I'm a poor old black man. Whatever happened, they're gonna blame me. I can't do what they do. Like when me and Tommy Wi-Fi Rich go out and get drunk and miss a show, they fire me. They made Tommy world champion. You understand? I learned that. A lot of people don't want to believe that's how the world.
So you felt helpless, kind of during this.
I was helpless.
That's interesting.
So the best thing for me to do, I had nobody on my side.
Okay.
Even I noticed Brody didn't have one friend in the world, not one. Everybody turned their back on him that day.
At the Garden.
Defeats Adonis, Ventura, Patera.
Yeah.
And then they drop. It just makes no. Let me ask you
what
this:
is that?
You and the Soul Man, you end up dropping the belts to Adonis and Murdoch. Can you share any thoughts on Adonis? A lot of guys have come through and they say he wasn't a very good guy.
Yeah, we hear some
Adonis
stuff.
was the most disrespectful,
Oh, here we go.
most degenerate
Get out.
individual I ever met in my life.
In your life.
Really now?
Why?
What did he? What was he just rude to you? Was all
he
hell
was
or
rude, obnoxious,
racist?
hell of a
Is he racist? Or just an equal opportunity asshole?
You got that right.
Okay.
Yeah. He wasn't so much.
Fair enough.
So much race, because all of us, whether we want to realize or not, we got a little bit of racism in us.
Sure.
All right. One more name, and then we got the ESS, and then we're going to reveal Tony's artwork. I got 3 names, but I'm gonna go with Piper.
I got to know Piper at Legend House. Never knew him before then. Ain't that weird?
That is
That
weird.
what was so good about Legend House. That's why I say it wasn't staged. We didn't know each other. Vince made sure he picked a crew that had never traveled together, never did nothing together. Because he was a heel. I was a babyface. Heels and babies didn't travel together. If you did, you got fired.
Yeah.
So that's why Vince put it together the way he put it together.
If you're in a burning car, you're not allowed to touch each other.
Exactly. They took the business versus. So Vince knew that was the perfect crew of guys to put together, and then to put Pat Powers there, which is how we say in the days about being politically correct. Well, he's gay, right? Yeah, he's gay. So a lot of guys have funny feelings about gay guys too. So he picked just the right crew. And Pat Powers used to say every day that Vince would never do another one. He said because it would never be as good.
Yeah, it was great.
Because with the first hand, you could see the guys not working.
Well, I got to be
How
honest
they
with you.
react.
I told you in the green
How they
room,
put
I thought
us
it
in-
was scripted. I thought it was a scripted program.
The only strip part, how they scripted it, they put us in situations we'd never been in before
Right.
to see how we react in them.
Is there like a deleted scene of like Pat Patterson in the closet while you're sleeping and he's going to come?
No,
They
none
didn't
of
do that?
No. If you say you watch the program, if you watch the program, just like with me, they like picture this.
Okay.
You're a young man.
Not that young, but.
They come in there and they tell you you're gonna go play polo, and leave it like that. What are you thinking?
Thinking, oh shit, I got to play polo.
If you
today.
watch that, you see about this, and they want to get that expression.
Yeah, right.
So they didn't tell us nothing. Every day that little girl would come in there, and she would tell us what we got to do that day.
But let me ask you, when Pat reveals that he's a homosexual on the show, You all looking like this is the first time you ever heard this. I mean, that had to be scripted, right? You all knew he was gay.
Not me.
Really?
I don't know about that, man.
Wow.
I didn't know he fired my ass. I know that. I know he didn't like me that much. I knew that. Because I pushed him up against the wall when me and Rocky got a fighting.
All right, tell that story. Then we're going to ESS. I got to hear this story.
And then because SD told me that's what probably caused a lot of my trouble. You see, Rocky sometimes would leave me at the hotel and take off. And I used to, you know, I finally started catching a cab, you know, going there. But he done that to me several times. So the last time he did it, I saw him in the dressing room. Terry Conway Jr. used to do that to me too. So me and Rocky, we got in a fight in the dressing room, and Pat went to break it up. And I was swinging, and my arm swung out and hit Pat. And I remember with the belt, I told him, I said, look, I told you not to do that with this guy. You should never put me with this guy, because I was just so pissed off at Rocky for leaving me for the third time. So I shoved the belt in Pat's chest in front of the boys. I did it in front of the boys. And back in them days, so Vince had no choice then but to take action.
Pat was his right hand man.
He's the top guy, and then I'm shoving the belts, and all the rest are sitting there looking at us. So that,
Senior, I don't know this story.
I've never
heard it.
Tell the story, please.
By his ankle, a bunch of guys.
By his ankle.
Yeah, that to try to scare them, and then me, you know, not putting everything away about it. Me, I one day just decided I want to go to L.A. and get my face stepped on and not go to Philly. That's what me and SD were talking about at the Hall of Fame. They were going to put the belt on me and SD that night, and we were going to beat Fuji and Saito.
Really?
I decided I don't want to wrestle. I'm tired. I want to have a vacation. This girl told me she got some new tennis shoes.
You and SD were about
to be the first.
You believe this?
This is unbelievable.
SD would have been the
SD
first.
must wanted to smack you senseless.
He forgave me. He forgave me.
Okay.
He talked about it in the Hall of Fame.
Oh my God!
And that's when Rocky took SD place. It was SD before Rocky. SD Special Delivery Show, and I took away SD first break.
Wow.
Can I get your thoughts
Over
on
a
SD?
pair of tennis shoes.
Over tennis shoes.
A girl called me and said, "I just bought these shoes. I can't wait to show them when you be home."
Right. And
I had this real strong foot fetish.
You with toes, man. What's up with you?
No, I got a shoe fetish.
Shoe fetish.
Not a foot fetish.
Okay,
there's a difference.
Hold on, interesting.
Skin.
So when you come back and SD now knows that you
He
finally
forgave
had
me.
right away he forgave you?
No, it took a while. It took a while, but later on, me and him, we started talking, and he knew that I was crazy. You know, I was all messed up. You know, messing with
let
drugs
me ask you a quick question. They put the belts around you and Johnson, which in the day was huge.
Yeah.
I could remember that day like it was yesterday. Both of you guys. What was your problem with Rocky Johnson? Because the rumor has it is you guys just couldn't get along, and they had to take
Well, me
a
and
strategy.
Rocky talk later. That's what I thought at first. And I say some horrible things about Rocky that I take back now. But once me and Rocky was able to sit down and talk.
But what was the original beef? What was the problem?
Well, me and Rocky never had a chance to bond. Now, think about it. We had the belt for almost a year, and we teamed up 3 times.
Yeah.
Why? Why,
That's
by
what
the way?
SD used to say all the time. He said, y'all the only guys that put the belt on, and they never promoted it.
Why do you think that was?
Senior put the belt on us.
Oh, Senior made that
Okay.
decision.
Junior took it off.
So Junior just didn't like it and didn't use
Well,
it.
Junior was not in charge till 85. Senior died in
Gotcha.
85.
Gotcha.
We won the belt in 82.
Gotcha. Understood.
Right?
Wow.
Yep.
So it
Senior-
sounds to me
it
like
was
Junior just
Senior-
didn't like it, and
It wasn't
Let it
his.
sit.
Well, it wasn't his creation. That's why when you go in, when I went back, Vince Jr. never booked Tony. Yeah.
Listen, I want to lose focus on this show a little bit. This was a tribute to Rocky Johnson, who unfortunately passed recently, and I'd ask you guys to weigh in and maybe tell the fans out there your experiences with Rocky Johnson.
I got one more Rocky story. I hope I can tell this one.
You can tell whatever
this
you
one
like.
probably going to piss off Dwayne. He was there, though.
Okay.
All right.
We were in Allentown, Pennsylvania. They do TV. I don't know if y'all was around there. They do TV in Allentown. And then on the next day, we do TV in Hamburg, Pennsylvania. It's 25 miles apart. So Vince Sr. was getting pissed off while all the boys getting drunk, partying with the girl, and were late for the sucker TV taping. We had to be there at 12 o'clock. But it's only a 30-minute drive. So I'm riding with Rocky, and I get up in the morning, I go to the gym with Sika.
Me and Sika go to the gym together. We worked out. We come back. We had breakfast. And then I'm sitting there talking to Alpha and Sika. And I said, well, let me go get my bag because I got to meet Rocket. So Rocket said he's going to leave at 11 o'clock. So 11 o'clock, I was standing in front of his room. His wife comes out to talk to me. Not the one now, but Ella, and then that's her name, the Samoan woman.
Was it Ida? I think Leah.
Yeah, Leah. And she said, "Oh, I have to get Rocket some food." And so I said, "Oh, I'll walk with you." So I started to leave, and I see Rocket. This is Rocket room, but they had these jointed rooms. You know, when you go through the indoor jointed room. What happened? Rocket, when his wife left out, Rocket had his girlfriend in another room. So
God.
Yeah, he would go in the other room. He would go to the other room and be with his girlfriend. He kept saying to his wife to do stuff, and he'd go be with his girlfriend. I didn't know this. Because me and SD shared a room together. And so as I was walking away, somebody told me to look back, and Rocket was in the other room, in his girlfriend room, saying, signaling to me. I said, what the fuck is he doing? Signaling to me. In other words, he said, get her out of here.
Right, yeah.
What happened? Dwayne got up.
back.
When Dwayne, he was a kid, then he got up, he shut the door. Now Rocket can't get back in. He had to come outside to go into the room.
Oh, man.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's thinking Rocket is up at the restaurant.
Right.
So she get ready to go to the restaurant to get Rocket. Said, Rocket went to get the food, let me go up here and get him so we can go. She's going to walk me back to the restaurant. Rocket is not at the restaurant. He's in the other room with his girlfriend. So finally, back up a little bit, Vince made him, because guys were late for the show, he said, anybody that's late for the show, he's going to charge them $500. So I didn't want to be late. That's why I was at his room at 11, because he said he's going to leave at 11. So anyway, I go back. I walk up to the room. When we got halfway to the restaurant, Rocket said, where are you guys? He come out the room. Where are you guys? I've been waiting on you all day. Where the fuck you been? Come on, we got to go. So we get in the car. We drive like hell to get to Hamburg. And this girl is following us the whole time. It's following us. I look back and who the fuck is this girl? So we get out. We walk there. Vince Sr. is standing there at the door, pissed off. You could tell when the man had these handful of silver dollars, and he do them like this. Silver dollars, he going just like this. I can tell he's pissed. Robert said, don't worry about it, brother. I'll take care of it. I would explain to Vince so you don't get in trouble. I said, okay, thank you, Rob. So I go in, not know nobody, get dressed and everything, went and did my match and everything. On the way back, Vince Sr. called me and said, Tony, he said, I'm going to have to fine you $500. I'm not going to fine Rocket because it's not his fault. It's your fault. The next time you want to go to the gym, go earlier.
Oh, my God.
That was Vince. You know what he did?
No, I know what he did.
He went and told Vince that he was late because he had to wait for me to come from the gym.
Oh,
and I
God.
said, Vince, that ain't what happened. Never mind, Tony. It already been done. Don't be late no more and walk away.
Really, you're moving into a good spot here. So,
That's
like
right.
all wrestling fans know the historic night when you and Rocky Johnson won the tag belts, right?
Right.
Many people that watch this show also know that the spot was originally meant for SD Jones, and you know you had some problems, and it kind of caused SD a spot. But from knowing you and SD are pretty close. Can you explain to the fans what kind of man SD Jones was?
Underrated. In a real fight. In a real fight.
Okay.
SD Jones probably could whoop everybody there.
Lefty.
I used to go to the gym with SD Jones, and SD, what was so strange about it, he could incline press more than he could bench press.
Wow.
I
Now
don't
that's
see anybody
impressive.
do that.
That's impressive.
He could take 405 pounds
Really?
and do it 10 times on the incline.
Wow.
We used to do curls, me and SD. SD used to take 225 pounds and curl it. I was squatting 600, SD squatted 600. You were my training partner.
Was SD a true friend?
SD was definitely a true friend.
So there are friends in wrestling then.
There are friends in wrestling. I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a story about SD. When Vince first kicked me out of wrestling, I went to I called Vern Gagne out in AWA. He said, "Yeah, I would love to have you in, Tony, but it's gonna be a month before I bring you in." So I checked into the Ramada Inn on 49th and 8th Street. SD told his wife where I was at. His wife, Kate, and I talked to her frequently. Kate said, tell Tony to come here and stay. I don't want him, he ain't going to have no money left. He paid $500-$600 a week at that hotel. He could come here and stay. So SD came and started packing my bag. I said, what are you doing? He said, Kate wants you at the house. Kate wants you at the house. We got to go. Got to go to the house. Kate, got to go to the house.
There it is.
Kate wants you. Yeah, that's what it has to be. And so he's like, help me pack my bag. So I slept in his son's room. His name was Jermaine. So they gave me his son's room to sleep in. Well, I didn't just lay around. I mean, I did yard work. I helped Kate around the house. One day, SD came home. He said, I think I've lost my job. I said, why is that, SD? He said, Vince Jr. told me this. If I don't get Tony Atlas out of my house, he's going to fire me.
What? Why?
And I said, what you tell Vince? He said, Tony, my friend, I can't do that to my friend. So I said, well, no, SD, I don't want you to lose your job for me. I said, I go back to the hotel. And luckily for me, SD cousin, they call him Bigfoot. Because he had these, like, size 50.
He says, do you have any stories of your friend SD Jones? I don't know how you can.
SD Jones and me, we travel all up and down the highway. But there's one story that I want to tell, because it includes Rocky Johnson too. When SD had a nickname, they called him Bike, because the guy raced him one time. The guy was on a bike, SD was on foot, SD beat him.
Oh my Lord.
Called him Bike. Me and SD used to go to the gym together, and SD was an amazing person. SD bench pressed 400 pounds, but he could incline 400 pounds too.
Wow.
I used to squat 400 or 500 pounds. SD used to squat 400 or 500 pounds. I know, and we traveled together. SD the one that helped me to get started. And one time, this is a real good story about SD. When Vince first fired me from before I went to AWA, worked for Vern Gagne, they asked SD, said somebody, SD was talking, said, yeah, Tony is staying at my house now. So first he got ribbed a lot. Everybody started teasing him, hey, you let that Atlas stay in your house, you out of town, he's there with your wife, you know something's going on. And he said, I trust my wife, I know my wife, I trust my brother. So they kept teasing him to try to get me kicked out. That didn't work. So one day, Vince, not Vince Sr., Vince Jr., told SD Jones, you kick Tony Atlas out your house or I'm going to fire you.
What?
SD came home and told me. And SD said, well, I told him, I can't kick my brother out. So I said, well, SD, don't worry about it. She called SD wife, Kate, wanted me to come and stay at the house because I was staying in the hotel. I was spending like, at that time, $500-$600 a week while I was waiting to go to AWA to work for Vern Gagne. So she said, you need to save that money so when you travel, while you come and you can stay here for the couple of weeks you got. So I went and stayed at SD house for a couple of weeks. And then Vince threatened SD if he didn't kick me out the house. Vince said that he was going to fire SD. So I told SD, I said, SD, I will leave and go back to the hotel. Don't you sacrifice your job for me. So I said, and so SD had a friend that was sitting there, and we used to call him Bigfoot. He was probably about 6'4", but he had these size 13 and 14, big ass feet like this, you know. So they call him Bigfoot because he had these big old feet. So Bigfoot said, well, he's only going to be here for about another couple of weeks before we go into Minnesota and work for Vern. So I went and stayed at West Virginia, Bigfoot house. Yeah, stayed at Bigfoot house, and then SD was able to keep his job. But they're going to fire him, and I wasn't even around the business then.
Wow.
So yeah, and I think SD was one of the guys that was underrated. Didn't get the break that he should have gotten into in wrestling and everything. But we only got a couple more minutes left in this segment, but I don't know how much you people enjoy some of these conversations and some of these stories. Wrestling have been a great career, for me, it was the best thing ever happened to me. With all the ups and downs, I wouldn't change a thing. Well, maybe some things. A few things I would change, but not much. I'm pretty content with my life. When I first started in business, they said you have if you finish this business, Tony, and you have one friend, consider yourself lucky. Well, I feel very, very lucky because I don't just have one friend. I got many friends. I'm gonna ask Larry to show me something. Get that picture of the Orton, Larry. It should be buried under there somewhere that I just drawn. Yeah. A picture. I'm gonna tell y'all this story. I just did this for a good friend of mine. This here is Bob Orton Sr. That's Bob Orton Sr. That is his son, Barrio. Now, Barrio didn't become a big star so much in the USA, but he was a big star in Canada. And right next to him, of course, is Randy Orton. And then that's Bob Orton. So here's the whole Orton family. Here's the father, Bob Sr., and here's the two sons.
Grandsons.
No, this is his son.
No, that's his son. Those are grandsons.
No, Bob is his son, and Barry is Bob's brother.
I get it.
Randy is the grandson.
I'm sorry.
Randy is the grandson.
Yes.
This is Randy's grandfather, and these are his uncle. I mean, this is his father. It's Randy's father, and that's Randy's uncle. That's Barrio. That's Bob's brother. See? And I just did that for him. Well, anyway, what I would do with wrestlers, I would send them a print, and I would ask them to sign them for me. So Bob, being the guy he is, he signed the print for me. Randy signed the print for me, but then he sent me the written back. I said, Bob, the written for you and Randy. Oh, okay. Thank you, Tony. So I have to be on the picture about the great wrestling family. Now, I'm going to be showing y'all more family portraits that I've been doing of wrestling. I'm working on now the Von Erich, the Minnesota Rec Crew, and guys that made a life of this business. So this is Randy's grandfather. That's Randy's father, and that's Randy's uncle. And that is the Cobra, Randy. And once again, we want to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.